Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is ShadowZero, and today I wanted to do a quick review of Fallout 4. Now I've done like what I expected to be the best points and blah blah blah, and I've now played the game for 15 hours game time. It's been out for 2 days. Yes, I'm a total and utter nerd, but whatever. Um, and I decided to do a review of what I thought were the best points of the game, and I might forget some because I haven't really written this down. This is just, as all of my videos are, just freeform. And I'm trying to do this video quickly because there's a cookie sitting next to me, and I want to eat that because it looks like a tasty cookie. With milk, by the way, obviously, because, you know, why not? But, enough about that. I don't know why I added that in, but Fallout 4. First I'm going to go through the bad points because there aren't many of them. The bad points are bugs. The bugs, everyone's been complaining about them. I think I've had two big ones. There was one where a character got stuck in like a position where she was like flying, but she was like floating off the ground. And it wasn't like a game-breaking bug, but it kind of like, you look at it and you think, this is kind of ridiculous. This is kind of stupid. And it sort of breaks the feeling of it. And then obviously the one that I made, I had one that I recorded, which was a bunch of like two shopping trolleys got stuck and started flying around. That happens quite a lot. Things spawn in like weird places, so they start flying around like cars and stuff like that. Other than that, bad points, there aren't really any. Like sometimes the frame rate drops, but I think that's been fixed. I think that's been patched already. And I didn't have many problems. I play on high on my computer. I've got a really expensive computer, so it can run Fallout. I wasn't expecting it to run it so well, but it runs it really, really well. So I haven't really had any problems with frame rates. Sometimes a couple of times, but not really. What else is there? Sometimes, like, this isn't really a bad point. This is just like a thing that annoys me. When you're building a settlement, and you have to like assign people to certain things. So you say like, you go do food, you go do defense and stuff like that. And like, if you walk up to someone and they're like walking around, sometimes they just walk around because they're bored, which is fair enough. But you don't know what they do because it doesn't say what they do. It might do. I might just be missing it. But it's annoying because I don't know whether or not they do nothing, or if they do something. So I don't know whether or not I can assign them to something. If they do food and I accidentally assign them to defense, that means they'll go and do defense and I'll lose out on food. Whereas sometimes there will be people who just don't do anything. There should be a way that you can get all the people who don't do anything and be able to know where they are, because then you can assign them to new places. That would be a good option, because now I have to like, I know there's a bell you can ring that like brings them all to one place, but once they're there, you don't know what they do, and it's kind of like annoying. But that's like the only bad parts I can think of. I really can't think of any others other than just bugs. Like, that's the only problem with the game, is probably bugs. The game's pretty perfect. But now onto the good parts. The combat's great. The combat is really, really fun. You can peek around corners now, which sort of makes it easier to do like actual shootouts and stuff like that. There's more like shootouts in towns. Like if you're walking through like a town like Diamond City, you'll hear like, or not actually in Diamond City, but like around Diamond City, you'll hear like people shooting each other. And there'll be like settlers and raiders, or raiders and guards, or guards and super mutants, or super mutants and raiders. There'll be like people just sort of shooting each other, like in the middle of nowhere. There was this bit, I was walking along. If you haven't played the game, you won't know what a synth is, but it's like a robot that like dresses up as a human, and like it has like humans. It's like a Terminator basically. And I was walking past these two people fighting. They looked exactly the same. They had exactly the same name, but one of them was a synth, and I didn't know that. So I killed both of them, as you do. Looted one of their bodies. They had normal human stuff. The other one had synth, like component, I think it was called. It said like synth component, and I was like, this is so cool. Like, that's just like a little thing. He didn't even have his own storyline or anything. I spoke to him and he didn't say anything, so I killed him. But it was just awesome. There's like loads of stuff like that. The radio is fantastic, like better than Fallout 3. And Fallout 3, The guy who says things is worse than Three Dog, but that's because Three Dog was so good. He's quite funny. The music is really, really good. If you like classical music is on there as well. And by classical, I mean like actual classical music. And there's like old music like Dean Martin and stuff like that. What else is there? The perk system is much better than any other game Bethesda's ever done, because now there aren't any perks that are dump perks. If you don't know what a dump perk is basically a perk that you don't need. So like something that just isn't worth getting at all. So just no one gets it. There's none of those. Every single perk has its own thing that helps it out, that helps you out. So every perk is useful. Every perk is very useful. So you can pick any perk and it will be perfect. The crafting system is awesome, but could be a little bit better. Sometimes you find a gun and it's like, I don't know. I think the only way you can make the crafting system better, and this is me being picky and me being like, I don't know. In Black Ops 3, you can make your own camo. And that's the only thing that Black Ops has done right. That would be quite cool in Fallout if you could design your own sort of camouflage, like a skin for your gun. That'd be quite cool. But I think that'd be too complex for the game. I don't know. Maybe that would be in a mod or something. What else is good? I said that before the game came out, I made a video that things I'm looking forward to in the Fallout 4, and one of the biggest things that I said was the environment, and the environment is awesome. It's really cool. There's a lot of places you can go visit. Some of them, I would have liked there to be more houses that you can go into, but at the same time, that would have taken too much time to do. So I guess it was a bit pointless them adding those in. So I'm sort of glad they didn't. What else is there? Settlement building is awesome, but I do have one problem with it. There's this thing called a raid. People, like, raiders raid your settlements sometimes. It's incredibly rare. I would like it to happen more. Not too much, but just more than it does. Because I've been playing for 15 hours, hasn't happened yet. I went on Reddit to see if it happened to anyone else. No one has had it happen. There's like a few people that have had it happen. And that's a bit like, you set up all these defense, like I've got like turrets and stuff in my settlements. And this is like no one is there. There's no worries. There's no trouble. There's nothing. So I've got like a bunch of like, one of my places is like a fortress held down by like turrets and stuff like that. But this is no one there. There's no one who is going to come in and like kill me. So this is no point. Other than that, the game is really good. Overall rating 9.5. It's so far the best game I've ever played. If I was being picky, I'd be able to pick out like little bits that are wrong with it. Other than that, it's really, really good. There's another thing I forgot to add. This is kind of a bad point. Legendary weapons and armor need to be better. There are legendary characters that should be more powerful, but their weapons should be better. Because at the moment, I've had one gun which is good enough to keep. One legendary gun that's been good enough to keep. And one legendary armor that wasn't better than the armor that I have now, so I gave it to my companion. I have 2 legendary armors, actually. I've given both to my companion. I feel like legendaries should be tougher, because legendaries are quite easy to kill. And then, in turn, what they use should be more powerful. Like, their gun should be more powerful, their armor should be more powerful. And you should have... So when you kill a legendary, they drop like a legendary item. Always drop a legendary item. That legendary item sucks. They all suck. It's very rarely you would get one that's actually good. And I guess that's like a good thing? I don't know. But I think they should be rarer, more powerful, and their guns should be better. Because a legendary item would be like... maybe there's like unique legendary items. I've had one unique legendary item. I've seen one, but it was really expensive, so I couldn't buy it. Other than that, the game's really good. I like how there are like more difficult enemies now. The game is harder than it used to be, but in a good way. Like in Fallout 3, it was difficult because it sometimes got really annoying difficult. Whereas now it's just like it's difficult because there are more powerful enemies. Like there are robots who roam the wasteland and just kill everyone. But anyway, I've been going on for too long, as I always do. But I would give this 9.5 out of 10. Say it's the best game I've ever played so far. I haven't done any of the storyline, and I've played it for 15 hours because I've just been doing Minuteman quests and other quests as well. Loads of side quests and stuff like that. There's a lot of raider hideouts that you can go and kill. And my favourite part of the game is probably clearing out places. I like clearing out places because I like killing things. So yeah, I want to go now. I'm going to go eat this cookie because it's sitting here tormenting me. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'm also going to be going to play Fallout 4. And I'm sorry that I gave up streaming it. It's because I wasn't getting any views, which is fair enough. There were too many people streaming it anyway, so I just didn't see the point. And I also wanted to take the game more seriously and sort of play it on my own, and I've enjoyed it more playing on my own. I will, when I complete it, after I complete it, I'll start a new character, and when the mods start coming out, I will make videos about mods and stuff. Hopefully it's on the Steam Workshop. I don't know why it wouldn't be. I haven't read anything about it yet, but it's because I don't Google it. But thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you on the next one.